welcome back to Hip Hop Urban Pop. 17 celebs who are on Star Search.
From Hollywood, the entertainment capital of the world, it's round 2 of the 1989 competition on Star Search with your host, Ed McMahon.
Tommy Davidson. In 1986, Tommy appeared on Star Search, going against the previous champion, Drake Sather.
TV fighting and real fighting very different. On TV, it's like, hey man, you stepped on my foot, and it's over, right? Real fighting is like, hey man, you stepped on my, get off me! Get off me! Get off me, man! Get off me! Get off me! Elton John, by far one of my favorites. Well, I guess that's why they call it the blues. Laughing like children, living like lovers, rolling like thunder under the covers. And I guess that's why they call it the blues. Would somebody please tell Elton that this is not the blues, okay? Wouldn't the blues be different? The blues would be more like, my mother's a liar, my house caught on fire, someone slashed my tires, and I just got fired. My time's up, thanks.
Let's find out who the judges choose as returning champ tonight. The judges give Drake Sather 3 3/4 stars. The challenger, Tommy Davidson.
In the end, Tommy received 3.25 stars, while his opponent received 3.75 stars. Drake would go on to receive an Emmy nomination for his work on The Larry Sanders Show, while also writing for Saturday Night Live from 1994 to 1995. Drake also came up with the character Derek Zoolander. Now, this is where things get eerie. During Drake's Star Search battle with Tommy Davidson, he makes a suicide joke about his father, asking him to chew himself instead of smoking so much.
When I was a teenager, I used to come home smelling like smoke. My mother would say, have you been smoking cigarettes again? I'd lie and say yes, because I didn't want to know the real reason I smelled like smoke. Yeah, arson. Made the mistake of lighting up a cigarette in front of my father. He says, why don't you just put a loaded gun to your head and pull the trigger? I'm thinking, Dad, I would, but I just don't think I get that same nicotine rush from a bullet. I just don't think I...
And in 2004, Drake Sather died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Tommy Davidson would go on to appear on multiple series and movies, including Live in Color, Booty Call, Martin, Woo, Mad TV, Juwanna Mann, Pulp Fiction, and The Proud Family. Britney Spears. Before Britney Spears was the biggest pop icon of the new millennium and one of the most famous human beings on the planet, she was a 10-year-old girl from Louisiana, auditioning on one of her favorite shows, Star Search, in 1992. During the first round against her opponent, Tanya, she sang a sassy rendition of I Don't Care by Judy Garland.
They may or may not mean offense, but I don't care. You see, I'm sort of independent. I am my own superintendent, and my star is on the ascendant. That's why I don't care. I don't care. What they may think of me. I'm happy, go lucky, go say that I'm lucky, contented and carefree. I don't care, if some person does not treat me fair. There's no one can make me like let me crazy. I don't care.
She exuded everything of a true performer born for center stage. The round concluded with the Britney beating out her opponent, receiving 3.75 stars, while her opponent received 3.25. She was scheduled to perform against another competitor the next week, which in fact was later that same day to be broadcasted for the next week's episode. This time around, Britney went up against Marty Thomas and sang Love Can Build a Bridge by the Judds. Now, Britney sang this song down, and it's a shame that higher-ups tried to keep this talent of hers away from us.
When we stand together, it's our finest hour. We can do anything, oh anything. Keep
Though Britney did her thing, she ended up scoring a 3.75, once again, while her opponent Marty scored a perfect 4 stars. Usher. At age 13 in 1991, Usher was running around Atlanta winning all the talent shows he entered. Amid all this success and getting his name buzzing around the Atlanta area, Usher made his way to the Star Search stage. Usher sang End of the Road by Boyz II Men and wowed the audience by holding a 12-second note. His opponent, who was an older young lady, and also the previous champ, put up some tough competition. But the battle resulted in Usher winning, scoring 3.5 stars, while his opponent received 3.25 stars. Not long after this, Usher came into contact with his soon-to-be mentor, AJ Alexander, while performing at Atlanta's Talent Search in Decatur, Georgia. AJ would get him in the room with L.A. Reid, who was stunned by Usher's raw talent, signing him on the spot. Sinbad. In the mid-80s, Sinbad appeared on Star Search doing his stand-up comedy and managed to become the reigning champion. After returning for the second time around, he ended up scoring 3 stars out of a possible 4 stars, losing to his opponent, Mark Halloran, who scored a perfect 4 stars. Christina Aguilera. Before she was giving it to us dirty and taking it back to the basics, at just 8 years old, Christina appeared on Star Search singing Sunday Kinda Love by Etta James. Although she gave it her best, unfortunately, like many others, she lost. In 1999, she told Rolling Stone, "I was a good sport about it. My mom made me go back out and shake his hand and tell him I was happy he won. Tears were running down my face." Destiny's Child. Destiny's Child stands today as one of the biggest, most successful girl groups on the planet, selling over 60 million records worldwide. But back in 1993, they appeared on Star Search as Girls Time. The girls were placed in the groups category and went up against 30-year-old men.
They put us in this category up against 30-year-olds, and we come out and we sing this original song, and we're 10 and 11 years old.
They performed an original song and incorporated rap in their performance, something that has never been done on the Star Search stage before.
I had them performing a song that I shouldn't have had them done.
This is a hip-hop thing, and Star Search didn't even know what hip-hop was.
What we did know is that no group had ever rapped on Star Search before.
Yeah, GT in the house. If the summer radio is the 80s, can't see me kicking to the funky melody. Hurry's got a body that makes you want to be nice.
And something that the kind of audience in Star Search would not even understand. Their opponents received a perfect 4 stars, while Girls Time received a whopping 3 stars.
You could just see the looks on their face. They're like, "Thank you very much." It was the saddest thing you've ever seen, because there's a whole bunch of 9 and 10, 11-year-olds crying like the world is over.
They just fell apart, and they kept saying, "It's not fair, it's not fair."
We were just heartbroken. We just thought it was the end.
It was sad.
It wasn't even 30 seconds before we start crying. So we're thinking nobody's ever gonna sign us now because we lost on TV.
Beyonce says they went out there and gave it all they could give, and once they lost, they were crushed. She says they went backstage and bawled their eyes out, cried like it was the end of the world. To make up for this, the girls were invited to Disney World and had a blast.
Those smiles were like, and the second we got backstage, we just bawled, and they took us to Disney World, and it was all good. It was like nothing ever happened.
After Star Search, the girls pushed themselves even further, working on their craft, which clearly later paid off tenfold. Leanne Rhymes. Leanne Rhymes made her appearance on Star Search at the tender age of 8 years old in 1990. Prior to being on the show, Leanne has embarked on a career in musical theater at age 5.
They give Levi Garrett 3 stars. Leanne Rhymes gets 3 3/4 stars.
Though Leanne's success on the show, being the champion for 2 weeks, she ended up losing the second time around. And in true Star Search fashion, being on the show and experiencing failure propelled her into stardom. Leanne decided to dive into country music, which led her to the attention of talent scouts. Then later began working on her debut album titled Everybody's Sweetheart, under an independent label in 1991. Leanne was discovered shortly after this by Bill Mack, who would bring her to the great success with the single Blue. Leanne would go on to release 13 more albums, selling over 37 million copies worldwide. Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle made his debut on Star Search in 1993 at age 19, making him the youngest comedian to take the stage.
Movie I had a problem with, the Batman movie. You guys notice Batman never fights crime in neighborhoods that need it. Yeah. I mean, really, I would love to see Batman fight crime in my neighborhood. I can see now, just Robin. Yes, Batman. Didn't we park the car right here, man?
Kevin Brennan receives 3 stars. David Chappelle receives 4 stars. A perfect score.
Dave won twice on the show, but ultimately lost to his opponent, Lester Berry.
Thank you very, very much, folks. Like, have you gone through a little x-ray thing at the airport and said a joke about having a gun? Don't do that anymore. I did that just trying to be funny, man. I walked to the thing and said, boop. He said, I'm sorry, sir. You have to go back through. I said, oh, must have been my pistol. Hey! I was joking. Man, he was gonna kill him, man.
Alia. Alia took the stage of Star Search in 1990 at 10 years old. It's always something she wanted to do, Star Search being her and her mother's favorite show. Dolled up in a custom dress made by her grandmother with the song choice My Funny Valentine, which by the way, she chose because it was her mother's favorite song. The champion slot seemed like it was up for the taking, but unfortunately, our girl did not take home the cake.
Now, Leah, you're a great singer. What else do you do?
Well, of course, I love to sing, and I love to dance and act, and I love swimming.
Swimming? Terrific. All-around girl. All right, let's find out what the judges have to say.
While her opponent received a 4, Alia received a whopping 3.25. As we all know, Alia would go on to make one of the biggest influences in R&B, pop culture, and in the fashion world. Which one of these contestants were your favorite? What are your thoughts on their performances? Comment down below and let us know. Catch y'all next time.